And I know a lot of families are like yours, like we're skeptical to have like to be online and
Yeah.
to have that tutoring online. And I was very like I am mindful of that. And I think that having the right tools to make online tutoring equal, if not better, than in
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
is crucial to make it successful. That's why we offer like shorter sessions too.
Yes.
So like half an hour sessions, 45-minute sessions for students who are younger or like need that kind of more frequent sessions that are in shorter bursts.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond Behaviour. My name is Ariela Koldorf and I'm your host, and I'm so excited to have today's guest on the show, Julie Diamond. Julie Diamond is a certified teacher in both BC and Ontario with 15 years experience and a passion for supporting students with special needs. In 2011, she founded Diamond Teachers Group, formerly known as Teachers to Go, an online tutoring company that connects students with qualified teachers. As a member of Special Education Advisory Committee at Toronto District School Board, she advocates for students on the autism spectrum. Committed to holistic education, she collaborated with mindfulness teacher Kelsey Beth Paul to develop the Mindfulness Course for Kids, a 6-week program that teaches emotional regulation, gratitude, and self-awareness through interactive activities. Outside of work, she enjoys CrossFit, meditation, cooking and baking, and exploring nature with her dachshund, Frankie. She believes that nurturing both the mind and the body is key to lifelong learning and well-being. Julie, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah, likewise. I'm excited to be here as well.
Awesome. So Julie and I don't know each other very well, but I have used the Diamond Teachers Group to actually find a tutor for my son. And it was such an incredible experience that when I started this podcast, I knew I had to have you here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Diamond Teachers Group and how it came to be?
Yeah, so like you said, I am a certified teacher. And in 2011, I was also tutoring on the side and just noticed there was kind of a gap between certified tutors, like tutors who really knew the curriculum, and with, the amount of needs, different needs that students had. So it wasn't just about supporting them academically with homework help. I really found that, having a certified teacher who could help support the whole child. There was a gap in the market there. So that's kind of where it came to be founded and connecting certified teachers as tutors for students, aligning them with the grades and subjects that they're looking for support.
That's amazing. And I have to say, the process that you have is really unique. Can you tell us a little bit more about kind of from the moment that a parent connects with you? Can you take us through that process of how you choose a tutor? Because I actually found it really, really unique and really, I guess, empowering to my son too, because he got to choose who his tutor was going to be, and he was part of that process.
Yes. So I think it's so important to give a number of different avenues because some parents and students, they prefer to go on our website, read the bios of the tutors and kind of see who, kind of speaks to them and then book that way. We also offer, you can book a call with me directly. I ask some pointed questions to kind of get a sense of what you're looking for because, again, for kids, it's a daunting process as for parents. So a lot of the times it's just they don't even know where to begin. They don't even know what they're looking for. So sometimes that guidance can help them understand, oh, wait, I do want a teacher that's like this or that personality trait or maybe that approach to teaching. And I didn't even know, having that guidance and then I can connect you with a couple. But I always like to give parents and students a couple of options to choose. And then you have that opportunity to hop online and do that free meet and greet. So, and I always say to parents, as I said to you with your son, involve them in the process. Even if they're super young, like have them meet the tutor and be there for the meeting. Have them read the bios with you and see, okay, you know what, they like Taylor Swift like I do. So it's really kind of seeing who speaks to them and who they feel they connect with.
Yeah, and that's what we did. So we didn't just read bios, but I had a meeting with you and you were incredible. And then we did have, I believe we had 3 sessions with 3 different tutors. And the first two, my son was like, oh, yeah, I like them, but I don't really think. And then after we found our tutor, he got off the phone. He's like, yeah, I think I want to work with her again. She was fun.
Nice.
And it
Yeah.
was, yeah, and it was really good. My son, I'm very open about the fact that he has ADHD and a learning disability, and I was skeptical about the online tutoring, to be honest. We've had tutors before, in-person tutoring, and he's always hated it. Like he hated going to tutoring. It was always a fight. But I remember it was Mondays at 4, and
Yeah.
there was never a fight. He would come home on Mondays and he'd be like, "Oh, it's time for my tutoring." And she just made it so much fun and interactive. And really, she met him where he was at. So my son's learning disability is writing. And so they worked up to the scribing for himself, right? Like it wasn't like he had to sit there and write. And he, wrote stories with her. And it was just really, really incredible. And he still asks me about her to this day.
Oh,
We
that's
just
so
don't
nice.
need it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, kudos to you. I think it's really effective. And tell me a little bit about kind of the background, I guess, of your tutors and what their certifications are, because you said they're certified teachers. Is that
They
right?
are,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's also because, I mean, like every profession, there are great ones that kind of follow this way, this path. For me, I feel like I have a pedagogy, and Diamond Teachers Group has that pedagogy, that mission of we will help students of all learning abilities, and meet them where they're at and bring them up step by step. I'm a firm believer in that. And it's through kind of really building their critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, and independence as learners. So I want teachers who also kind of have that creative approach to teaching, who can bring and breathe life into a subject. That's kind of what the educators I look for. So, when they can hop online and they can connect Minecraft to math or basketball to math, they can kind of okay, they love Lego. How can we bring Lego into a writing piece? Or how can we bring Lego into a math piece? It's really about how can you bring that to life and get them to see the so what's, get them to see the relevance to their life. So it's really about the relationship building as being as important as the academic piece for me.
Yeah, and that shines through in the work. And even all three tutors that we did speak to, I don't even like to call them tutors because they're teachers, were incredible. And they have the understanding of IEPs. I want to hear a little bit about you and your background. Like I said before, you do have that background in special education. And that's, my passion. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience and the work that you do on the SEAC as well?
Yeah, so I mean, my passion has always been working with kids in special education, notably, and I think that's what drew me to working with Autism Ontario, notably with kids on the spectrum. And so I've been with Autism Ontario on the SEAC since I think it's been 2017, with the TDSB since 2019, and personally teaching in classrooms like as a learning resource teacher, removing kids and supporting them in literacy and math, also helping and team teaching in a class of 16 kids. This was in BC, a school supporting kids. I think 4 were on the spectrum, 4 had, learning like difficulties or some sort of diagnosed anxiety or depression. They just wouldn't be able to, they weren't in the public school system. They were in this other system to kind of help get them, transition them back. And so, yeah, it was just great experiences that I find it's a challenge every day. It's different every day, but it's the most rewarding, I find, working with students with all different abilities.
It really is. And are you currently teaching as well?
Yes. So I
Wow.
am occasionally teaching. So I go in and I'm working probably, I would say, teaching 2 days a week. And it's mostly like the spec ed roles. So in communications classes, so nonverbal, like they support nonverbal autistic students working. And those are usually the assignments I like to pick up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're like kindred spirits because those are, that's really the population that when I worked for the school board for many years, love to work with as well. What is it that you do differently, or what sets Diamond Teachers Group apart from other tutoring services?
I would say on being in the education system, when parents call me, I really listen because every case, while there are similarities, every case is different. So a lot of the times parents just don't feel heard. And sometimes I find they just want to vent or they just want someone to listen. So sometimes I may not do much talking at all. They just want to kind of tell me what's going on. And so that I would say, not so much of the selling. It's about listening and then saying, here's how we can help you, because I like to tailor it to what the family is looking for, most notably. And I think that one-to-one allows us to do that. And because our teachers come from all different backgrounds, like teaching experiences, varied teaching experiences, we're able to do that and connect them with the right educator. Two, I think really speaking to the child as a whole, not so much we're going to help them with homework help. I really focus on, okay, they're really struggling with anxiety, even showing up to school. Like we help a lot of parents who homeschool their kids. Okay, let's do some mindfulness sessions. Like let's kind of shelve the academic piece right now. And
Yeah.
let's just focus on developing that mentorship, coaching, relationship part, getting them to trust us and getting them to feel comfortable and less anxious about learning. And then we can slowly develop that in. And really also the success strategy. I know that, your son
Yes.
had one.
Yeah.
It's creating those 3 to 5 learning goals aligned with what they're doing in class. So we can kind of say they will be able to do this, and these are the strategies and tools we'll be able to do. And having that updated after each session
Yes.
in real time, I think is also helpful, because a lot of parents come to us and I think the biggest thing they say is they don't know what's going on at school. They don't have any communication. They're not really understanding where their kid's at. So we assess, we write out the goals. They approve it. Okay, this is what we want them to be able to do by, throughout the semester. And then they're updated. They can see, okay,
Yes.
this is what they're able to do. This is what they still need to work on. And then not only the student is in the loop, but the family is also in the loop of where the child's at. So that's super helpful. And I feel like a lot of parents appreciate that communication.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I remember getting my emails afterwards, with the link, and I would go on and check what he's working on. But I have to say, like, the biggest difference, and I think this is also what set your company apart from me, is that you're right. It wasn't just about work or tutoring. It was about, like, you know, my son always had really low confidence when it came to writing in school, and he's a bright kid and he's doing well. But, by the summertime, because we stopped in the summer, his confidence was so high. Like now he's got an IP and he's got some accommodations, but he's producing writing in class. Like
I
he's
love
just
hearing that.
yeah, like it takes him longer, but he's very aware of that. We're very transparent at home and we talk about what he needs, but he's producing writing pieces. Like his confidence is in a completely different place. And that's, in a large part due to his time with his educator through your company. Like I don't know what it was that she did, but he loved her and he just would feel so good about himself. And that's really generalized and lasted up till now. So I have to say, whatever formula you're using works. I love it. And I also follow you on social media. So I know that you do different, like little booster sessions. And like you said, the
Mhm.
6 week emotional regulation session. Do you want to tell me a little bit about those pieces that you offer?
Yeah, so we also do the free workshops too. So
Yes.
for anyone who wants to even try like one, we do offer the mindfulness a couple times a year, but we have the math games and puzzles, which is coming up on Monday. And like, because that kind of offers like a different kind of creative thinking outside the box, not necessarily aligned with the curriculum, but something that can really, again, boost that confidence in math, boost the problem solving piece. And it really kind of goes with what we're trying to help our students and support our students with. But with the mindfulness piece, it's a 6 week course and we offer it for the younger kids as well as for the older kids. It's from, I believe, 6 to 8, ages 6 to 8 for the younger kids and 9 to 11 for the older kids. And it just really talks about developing that sense of gratitude, emotional regulation skills to help kids understand gratitude, understand emotional resilience, understand different things with breathing techniques. We find a lot of the time kids who struggle with focus, attention challenges, it really comes down to that emotional regulation piece that a lot of kids, because they weren't in school during COVID, they kind of missed out on working on that in a social setting. So that's what our mindfulness teacher does. She kind of works with them through fun, engaging activities. There's like animations, there's journal entries that they do in between sessions. So there's a lot of different things. They do it in small groups, or they can also do it one-to-one, whatever their preference is. And it just allows them to kind of build those skills in a safe space.
That's awesome. And are there any like prerequisite diagnoses or identifications that a student has to have?
No, no,
Okay, so
not
anyone.
at all. Yeah,
Okay,
anyone. Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
And again, like you don't have to have a diagnosis of autism or ADHD to have that self-regulation, emotional regulation
yeah.
challenge, right? Because
No.
like you said, kids weren't in school during COVID and it's just a whole different world now with tech and all that stuff. So, with tech, you do bring a lot of tech into Diamond Teachers Group. So, tell us a little bit about the program that you all use because it's very interactive and
Yes.
I think it's really cool. And I don't even remember what it's called now, but why don't you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so we have actually been online since April 2018, and it was not until COVID we went 100% online. But we've been using this platform since then, and it's kind of partnership with um, it's like a group, and it's lesson space. So it's not so much a meeting space like other ones where it's more geared towards like the office setting is really tailored to teachers teaching online. So we have lots of different tools and gadgets. There's a little chat function where they have like emojis for like shy students to start, where they can just use the emojis to communicate. We have sharing a screen so they can share outside websites as well. They have, the ability to upload PDFs, teachers, students. They can also take pictures. If they have like a worksheet from school, they can hold it up to their camera and it can be, taken immediately and then it goes right onto the whiteboard and they can write directly on it. There's highlighter tool. There's a lot of different kind of tools. There's even a library resource that they can upload where it has protractors and
That's so
graphing
cool.
calculators and things like that. So it makes it really seamless to kind of take it from in person to online. And I know a lot of families are like yours, like we're skeptical to have to be online
Yeah.
and to have that tutoring online. And I was very I am mindful of that. And I think that having the right tools to make online tutoring equal, if not better than in
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
is crucial to make it successful. That's why we offer like shorter sessions too.
Yes.
So like half an hour sessions, 45-minute sessions for students who are younger or like need that kind of more frequent sessions that are in shorter bursts.
Yeah. Our sweet spot, I think it was 45 minutes that we did and it
Yeah, I
was
think you were doing
perfect.
45.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have lasted the hour, and I felt like a half an hour wasn't enough. But the platform he used is so interactive. Like he loved it. And for kids who love video games, like my son,
Mm-hmm.
he loved it. And it was, it got buy-in from him, where he wanted to log on, he wanted to do the work, and even when he wasn't scribing his own stuff, like his educator still got him to actually interact and put some work into it in different creative ways. So it was really cool. And, she brought all his interests in it. And all your educators use the same platform. And
Yes.
it feels like to me that you have a really good kind of training process and all those things. So yeah, it's really incredible. Is there anything coming up for Diamond Teachers Group? I know there's the 6-week program, or is there anything that people should watch out for in the future?
Yeah, so I would say definitely keep an eye out. You can subscribe to our email newsletter to keep up with the weekly blogs that I do every week. I write them. And then we have the monthly free workshops. You don't have to be a registered student with us to join. And then as well, I would say the IEP meetings that we offer or support meetings. So with IEPs, if you're going through that process or the IPRC, going through the process, we can connect you with a teacher with a special education background who can walk you through your child's IEP or the IPRC process to kind of help you. It can be a daunting task with all those
Well,
acronyms.
yes,
It can be a daunting task. So knowing your rights as well
yes.
as parents is important, and going equipped to advocate for your child on their behalf would be helpful. So it's an hour meeting that they can kind of just walk you through, different accommodations or modifications, whichever it applies. So you can kind of know what would be best for your child going into the meeting.
That's amazing. I didn't know you offer that. And I think that's so important. Like, you know, even to me, my son's IEP is daunting, and I know IEPs, like I speak that language. But
Mm,
as a parent, when I put my parent hat on, it's still your kid. And for someone who doesn't understand or doesn't know that they can ask for a change,
yep.
who doesn't know what to ask for, who doesn't understand the difference between accommodation and modification, right? So I think it's incredible that you offer that. And then you actually kind of answered my next question. So I was going to ask, do you have teachers on staff that are special education resource teachers or have a special education background that would be able to perhaps work with the kiddos who have higher needs? And do you also, second part of that question, work with kiddos that maybe have different communication styles or needs as well?
Yes, yes to both. I like to have like on our roster, lots of teachers with different backgrounds. So having teachers with experience like myself working with autistic students, working with like students with attention challenges, communication, like, selective mutism, for example, experience with that. Having somebody who works with your child who has previous experience with their specific needs, learning needs, is, I think, so important and makes the
Yes.
difference between being a successful match or not. So that's kind of, I really take that into consideration and make sure that we do have that available.
That's amazing. And then if parents did want to access the IEP session, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, so it's under the services option on our website, or they can always reach out to me directly.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to let us know how to reach you since we're talking about your website and socials? I know that you're
Yeah,
really active
yeah,
on socials
sure.
as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I would say Instagram and LinkedIn are probably our easiest, like our most active socials. So I would say the Diamond Teachers Group on there. And as well, our website is diamondteachersgroup.com.
Perfect. And all that will be in the show notes anyway, so that people can access it. Yeah, that's amazing. So I just, I want to reiterate that you truly have something special here. And that's why I wanted to have you on the podcast because, after trying, I would say maybe 3 or 4 different tutors for my son, I finally found something that fits. And I think, with your experience and with your knowledge, like you really do make sure that your clients are well supported. And so I really appreciate that about you as well. Before we go, I want to hear about your puppy because I have 2 dogs. So we have to bring a personal spin, a personal flair into the podcast.
Yeah, I can actually, where is she? She's here somewhere. I can bring
She's
her
so
up.
quiet. I can't let mine in
She's
here.
never far away from me.
I
So
have to
here,
lock mine out of my room because they'll just bark everywhere.
this is
Hi.
Frankie. This
She's
is
so
Frankie.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how
Well,
old
I
is
just
she?
woke her up. You can tell.
She's
That's
sleepy.
why she was quiet.
How old is she?
She'll be 8 on the 10th.
She's sweet. Oh, she's so
Yeah.
cute. Now
Yeah.
I see now I'm gonna have to meet her. Well, Frankie, your mom's pretty incredible. Yeah, is there anything else that you want the people to know about or anything else that you want to put out there before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would just say, like, if anyone's skeptical with online tutoring, definitely reach out to me. And we do offer opportunities to try a session out. So just reach out to me. I think it's just, it's different. Every tutoring service is different. I just would love the opportunity to kind of give their kiddo a chance to try it out and see if it's for them.
Yeah, and I would agree. It truly is different and it's special. So, Julie, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I would really encourage you all to go check out Julie's website or IG, LinkedIn. Reach out if anybody needs any tutoring services or any support with IEPs. I really do think she has something special with Diamond Teachers Group. So that's it for us. Thank you so much. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend if you think it would be helpful. Don't forget that we're all on this journey together, and we will see you next time. Bye.